Alright then, let's continue by creating a new file inside data directory named entities.py. Basically, we're going to store all our data classes in this Python file, such as class category, category, product, orders, customers, discounts, so on and so forth. I don't want to repeat same things again because let me just write first from data classes import data class. As you see, we're going to use data class here, which came up with Python, I think, 3.7. I already explained this stuff in my previous videos, how to mock data with by using Factory Boy. There's a video in my channel with this topic. You will see YouTube card right now appears the top right of the screen. You can click that and go to watch this video before actually continuing with this one. If you are not, of course, if you are not familiar with data classes and Factory Boy, which is a third-party library to mock your classes, to mock your models actually. And it will be really actually helpful if you navigate and watch this. Really quick watch what's going on here. You don't need to apply it. Just catch the flow, and then you can return here as well. Continue to implement the category migration. Anyway, so let's start by creating some data class. The class is going to be named category, since we are migrating categories. Now we need properties of this data class. So which fields do we need to migrate to Shopify? So we are using custom collections, and here it is, properties. We're going to use few of them, and that's going to be the most important ones. Body HTML, of course, the category can have description. Handle is created automatically. Yes, the category might have image, so we will use this. Definitely we're going to use image. ID, now published, yeah, the published is going to show if this category is actually published or not. Sort order, yeah, for sort order, let's just define manual order created by the shop owner. You can change as you wish, but I will stay with manual. Then title, and that's it. We don't need template suffix and updated that. Those one are, I think, created automatically updated. The suffix liquid template being used, for example. Yeah, we don't need that one at this time. So just title, body HTML, published, sort order, and image. Okay, so let's write title. It's going to be str, string, as well as body HTML. Body HTML, published, bool, and sort order. Sort order is going to be string. And finally, image. Oops. Image is going to be string as well. We're going to give a URL as a URL as a string. So save, and then let's create another file named factories. So by using factories, we will generate some fake data. Import factory. As I said, if you didn't watch, please go and watch, because you can confuse this part by saying, oh no, what's factory? I don't know with this. I don't know this stuff. Since I don't want to use some fixtures or create data manually, because this is really bad practice, and I think by using factories we can create more real data. The data that is close to real one actually. So actually I noticed that I imported the name incorrectly, so it must be factory. Import factory.fuzzy. We're going to use some fuzzy attributes. From data.entities, import category. So we're going to mock the category model. Class, let's say category factory. Yeah, category factory is going to be inherit from factory class. And the model is going to be category. So we mentioned that we want to mock the category model, and then let's define the attributes. I will just copy paste the attributes here. We are generating fake data at this point. Title factory, factory.faker, they included Faker in the newer versions of Factory Boy, so it's really good. Name, generate some random name, some fake name for title. And for body HTML, we can say factory dot faker and then sentence. Published. For published, let's use fuzzy attribute here. Factory dot fuzzy and fuzzy choice actually. Fuzzy choice. We have to pass iterable. Let's use true, and one false. So the probability is going to be much higher, true rather than false. The sort order is going to be manual. And image also. We're going to give image URL. Well, Faker will generate some fake image URL for this attribute. So that's it. Now if we call this class category factory. So let's say we will call this like that, factory.create. It will automatically generate a new factory, a new category instance for us. Or we can say category create batch, and we can give size 5, for example. So this factory will generate 5 instances of category model, 5 instances of category model, with all these fake data. Okay, that's why we used factory here. All right, so let's navigate to category.py. So we're going to create the category migration here. Start by importing logging, because we want to see what's going on behind the scenes. We're going to log some outputs, actually the response. So class category migration, let's call it category migration. And then we have to, let's define the init function. So to initialize logging, actually, self log is going to be logging dot get logger and name. So we have to set level as well, self.log. Otherwise, when we are calling log info, it's not going to show us anything. And to fix that, we have to set level for that. The logging.debug. The level is going to be debug, so we can see the info. And then self.client. We're going to call our client, the client class, Shopify client. So let's write Shopify client auto import, as you see here. And then we have to pass what API password, then shop URL, and finally the endpoint that we're going to use, right? The endpoint. Actually, we can give endpoint directly from constants. Shopify store admin, collection endpoint, and value, like that. The password and shop URL, you can find those ones from the private app that we generated in previous episode. So I'm going quickly navigating here, apps, manage private apps. Oh, I deleted. Okay, let's just create a new one. Alright, so we are creating the private app. I deleted the last one because I shared my API password with you. So probably after this episode as well, I'm going to delete it one more time. So for each new episode, I'm creating a new private app. So that's it. The private app created successfully. We can get our password from there. Copy to clipboard. Great. So let's paste this our API password. That's going to be set as a value for the custom the Shopify access token header. So by this way, we can access our store data. The shop URL is going to be this one right here. Oops. For you, it's going to be different, obviously. That's it. So let's keep the last one, the last slash here, because as you remember, we tried to strip like that way. So by assuming that if we forgot to remove this last slash from there, and the endpoint remains same. Collections, admin API, blah blah blah, add API version and collections.json. So then let's create a new function named generate. Let's say generate categories, solve, and let's just pass args and quarks as well. So after that, let's say category IDs, and not category IDs actually, but category data. Category data. So what we will use here, our factory that we created. So let's call our factory category factory and create batch. We are giving the size, as you see, the number of instances to create. The number of instances, let's say 5, for example. Create 5 instances of category. And then let's initialize an empty, or actually that's going to be same as, oh no, we don't want that. Collections Shopify, let's say. An empty list, collection Shopify. We're going to append the generated data inside this list and then pass it to the request. Now let's iterate through the category data for category, in category data. Let's say we have collection row, and we are giving, okay, so collection row is basically a collection object, single collection object that we're going to send to Shopify. So each row is an object, is a category, okay? So custom, let's say custom collection, like that. Why custom collection? Let's navigate to API structure. As you see, we have to define the custom collection object by this way, as you see. All details, all these attributes are defined inside under custom collections, like that. Okay, so we're doing the same. Custom collections, title, category, title. Then what we have, the body HTML, same category, body HTML. So then published, again we can call this from, we can get the published value from category published, sort order, category sort order, and lastly image, right? Image. Okay, so before writing image, let me show you how it's handled in API. We have to define image like, okay, associated with custom collections, valid values. We have to add extra value for the image, which means we are going to add another curly brace here. So it's going to be nested. We have a couple of valid values, encoded, attachment. It's not going to be attachment actually. If you are planning to use it by attachment, then you have to encode your image with base 64 and then pass it to the attachment value. Well, in this case, we are just going to use src, the source URL that specifies the location of image. Okay, so let's use it. Oops, src and category.image, like that. Okay, so this is our collection object that Shopify will take these values and create a new collection in the admin. All right, so let's add this collections Shopify, the append collection row, and return collections Shopify, like this. So whenever we call generate categories, it will basically generate categories and return to us. Okay. Then another function is going to be basically migrate. So this is the main part where we are exporting data to the Shopify. Actually, I noticed we don't need this args and clocks here. Let's delete. We don't need unnecessary stuff. Okay, self. Let's first get our Shopify collections. Collections Shopify, and then self.generate categories. Or we can actually call it generated collections. Oh, let's keep it like that. Collections Shopify. Anyway, then self.log. Let's call the logging here info. So in log, we're going to show the source data. Oh, source data is going to be collections Shopify. So basically, we just want to log the generated data, all these collection rows that we are returning in this function, and basically we are logging it here. Okay, just for information purposes. Then we can iterate through this for collect in collections Shopify. Response. Oh, let's keep it res. Response self.client. We are going to call client and API. API request method. API request function. What we have to pass is method. Which method we want to use? Of course, post, since we are sending some new data. So it's going to be request types. Post value from the constants, and data. The data will just collect. That's it. And then we can also log. We can also log the response. Actually, you know what? Let's delete this one. The source data. We just need response. Why even we care about the source data? Then res. That's it. So what else? What else? I think that's all. We don't need too much things here. Just one thing I noticed that we are passing data as a dictionary, where we have to dump it with JSON. So let's navigate to Shopify client really quick and use JSON.dumps quarks get data. So we want to make sure that our data is acceptable by the Shopify. It's the content type is application touch. Oh my god, I see many typos here. Application. Okay. Application.json. And those ones as well. Application.json. Okay. So anything we missed? Hopefully not. Navigate to category, and finally let's call our migration class. Let's say category. Categories migration. Categories migration. And category migration. Oops, not factory. Category migration. And then categories migration.migrate. So that's it. Phew, our program is ready, hopefully. Now the generated categories should migrate to Shopify. So now let's test it. Okay, so we're inside our current folder. Let's now, the moment of truth, Python. We're going to run this category.py. Probably there will be something like some errors. The object is not callable, of course. The self client, where is it? The client, I think something is wrong. Oh god, that's really embarrassing. That's really embarrassing. Self headers dot fade. That's it. Too many typos. Sorry for that. I'm really sorry. I just thought 1 second why this headers is in different highlighting, but anyway, never mind. Sorry for these typos. Okay, let's test it one more time. Okay, it seems everything has worked except the logging. Now if you navigate, let's go to our store to see if we have something there. Collections. Actually we have. Let's delete those. One more time. Category and Python category. Navigate one more time. Refresh. Nothing. Okay, so it seems something is messed up here. Let's print response. I don't know why logging is not worked. It should work actually. Logging, get logger. Set level logging debug. Let's print then. Print res. Let's see what's happening behind the scenes. Invalid API key or access token. Really? API password, shop URL, Shopify client, update. Yeah, we have the value, Shopify access token. God, don't say me again another typos here. This is so silly. Try one more time. Okay, so now it's sending our collections to Shopify. I did so many typos, I really did. That's really embarrassing. Okay, now if we go and check the collections, we will see the exported categories here. Yeah, that's it. You see, images are set, everything is working. Description is here, title is here, and what else? Image, and of course published. Also, everything is in place. All right, so I stopped recording for a moment because I don't know why the logging is not worked. We already set level to debug, but it seems it's causing some errors there. And I found some Stack Overflow question where we can use this solution here. So let's copy and paste. Copy and paste Stack Overflow. There are so much memes out there in Instagram about this. Logging basic config. Okay, so basically we are setting the level to info. Okay, and then let's delete this one. We don't need print statement anymore. All right, so let's try one more time. Clear. You see, I already tested Python category.py. Now it should print the log. 2, 3, 4. Aspect ratio must be between. Oh, as you see, there are errors as well. I think the faker generated image aspect ratio. Yeah, between. Yeah, I think that faker generated wrong sizes. Anyway, there must be 4 instances then. The 4 collections migrated exactly. What is this image really? What is that? The cat? Anyway, the main thing is our data is migrated. You can see everything. The sort is manual. All these options. Let me show you real quick. Yeah, the sort order, price, descending, ascending. All these values are available here. Since we set this manual, that's why the sort automatically selected as manual. Description, title, everything is okay. So that's it for this episode. We successfully migrated categories to Shopify by using the REST admin API. For the next episode, I'm planning to switch to products, which is much more complicated than categories and other entities out there. Okay, so see you around.